Yeah, I don't know if this mic's really going to work, but it's early morning, so I can't really run the speakers. And we're just going to leave it with uh, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Um, the old Tyrannosaurus Rex, because he's awesome. I reckon he's the best lap birds I know.
After bumping him once, I lost so much speed and it didn't seem to do much to him. And when 90s gave me that bump in the Corvette, I decided it's probably a better idea for me to try to pass. And with one more bump, I was well ahead of Luis. In fact, both of us were. In the other situation, Luis would easily be able to stick with us and would not have any trouble braking late and sticking with us throughout the twisties because, of course, that is a handling car. The Corvette used to be the opposite, extremely powerful, also aerodynamic, and it handled well enough. It now just barely handles, but in this race, because of the slipstream, because of the power it has, you can, with enough luck, stick with one of the actual good cars. That was a bit of a tangent about the cars in general, specifically the 4C, but going back to the slipstream, if you are within 1 second, then you will have noticeable slipstream from the car ahead of you. I randomly chose to change the topic because that was a situation where I can explain what was going on, but that's just going to happen because that's just how my brain works. It's also really important to note that there's a social aspect to bump drafting. Now, I'm fully aware, I feel like a lot of people are trying to tell me in the comments, I'm so sorry to get into this, but a lot of the lower ranked lobbies, especially in the Americas region, people do not, for some reason, understand slipstream. Let me walk that back. They don't understand bump drafting specifically. I've heard in every single one of these guides where I talk about the power of slipstreaming, I've heard from people that in any rank below like B, or sometimes even the B lobbies, people just do not understand the value of bump drafting. And in fact, some people, I should have gone back and tried to find one. Some people actually think that when you were trying to bump draft someone, you were ramming them. And there are people who will go as far as making a livery saying, don't bump draft me. And it's insane. It's insane. I'm just going to say it's insane. It's ridiculous. You cannot possibly go as fast by yourself as you can with even a single person bump drafting you. It's just physically, it's not physically obvious, it's a game. It is digitally impossible. The hard part, of course, is knowing when not to slipstream. And of course, that's like anywhere, I'd say, you know what, let's just say 100 meters before a corner, don't bump draft. It's really simple. You want to do whatever you can to stay close. I do want to mention that I was about to run into Velasa. I don't think he knew I was going to be breaking on the outside there, so he moved a little bit to the outside. You might have seen, if you're going to be reminded, you might have seen that I essentially put my car into the wall. If you're afraid that you may run into someone and you don't want to win the race, you can actually just use the friction of grinding your car against the wall to slow down. I've had to do that a few times, and in fact, there have been times in time trials and daily race time trials, in the qualifying time trials, where people will break late deliberately because they grind their car on the side of the wall. It's kind of like wall riding. Most of the time you'll get a penalty for that, and I definitely do not support, of course, that kind of exploitation, the super unrealistic and stupid exploitation of this game, but I do suggest doing that if you might accidentally run this. It's the same thing as just driving off the track, but since you can't drive off the track, you might as well just grind your car on the side of the wall instead of sit down. We're about to get to another point where I completely jump to another topic. I'm so sorry. It's impossible to organize my thoughts, even in a good situation, because it's such a difficult situation to do so. Average Racer was bump drafting on Velasa. Velasa was defending on the inside, so Average Racer couldn't pass him. And then Average Racer went to, I don't know if he was actually attempting to pass or to stay behind Velasa. I realized that he was going to be better than me, so I wanted to pass. And it's entirely because I don't actually, I think I've raced against Average Racer a few times. I'm not quite sure. In general, because I race so often in this region and because of my history in this region, I was about 95% sure that I'd be able to pass Average Racer and then break apart the slipstream that we have in Velasa. I knew that Velasa is one of the fastest drivers in the region, so if I could bump draft him and work with him, then we could potentially easily run with everyone else and chase the victory. So that is why I chose to pass him and why I didn't want to pass Velasa in the same situation. Now, I'm not sure if K-John meant to move in front of me under braking, or if he braked too late and then ran into Velasa and then had to try to avoid Velasa, and that's why he moved in front of me. Either way, you never want to move underbraking. It's just never a good idea. And because of that, I had damage, and he most likely had damage as well, which really affects the handling. It also affects the top speed. If this were a higher race, it would also give the rest of the race the higher rate, and it was kind of hard to have damage. I talked about there being a social aspect to this. I race with Velocity pretty much every single day that I race. I race Saturday through Monday. I do that live, and there are other times during the week that I'll also find time to race, whether it's just by myself or for recording or friends. Because of that, you get to know a lot of people, and especially if you've competed against them for years. I've competed against him with Velocity for many, many, many years. We have fairly similar pace most of the time. I do think he's faster than me. He's one of the fastest controller drivers, probably the fastest controller driver in the region. Don't quote me on that. And I know that if I bump draft him or if he bump drafts me, then we can work together until we're clean and clear of everyone else, or at least the other people who aren't quite as fast as us, and then we can start battling each other at the end. And because we've been doing it for so long, sometimes we'll get tricky. Like, we'll be bump drafting for so long, and you think, okay, this is lap 9. We're not going to go for a pass. Oh, he's not going fast. That kind of situation. You can make friends, and you can work with your friends, but at the end of the race, at the end of the day, you're still each other. And you have to really develop that kind of relationship if you really race a lot. Or you can, of course, just assume what people are going to do and try to work with people in that same way without actually communicating. It's really easy just to give someone a bump draft and then maybe signal them or right off the throttle before the braking zone to signal to them that they're not going to pass in that situation. It's actually perfect that at this point in the race, Luis is right behind. I've been racing Luis since GT Sport. He's an amazing man. I love this guy. He's also incredibly fast. I think he used to be pretty close in pace. I do think that despite the fact that he took a break, he is faster than me yet again. There was a race at Red Bull. It was one of the top split manufacturer races from GT Sport, and he bump drafted it the entirety of the race. And I expected him to try to pass me on the last lap, and that would be I would then try to defend. But he was also really smart. He ended up saving his tires by braking gently and early. You can brake really gently by doing it really early, but also maintain a lot of speed behind people because of the slipstream effect. And if you do that, you have better tires than the person that you're working with, then you can pass them wherever you feel like it, and you have better tire life and the chance of them passing back, which is really slim. So not only was he faster than me the entire time, he was leading bump drafts, he was also saving his tires, and I expected him to pass me at least leading into the last lap, but it was something like the second corner of the second to last lap that he passed me. I was not ready for it. Didn't even attempt to win because it was too late by that time, and he ran away to win. Using my ADHD to once again jump to another topic, the people who do not understand bump drafting, if any of you are listening right now, please take these lessons to heart. It is legitimately impossible to go as fast as 2 or 3 people who are deliberately bump drafting each other if you do not bump draft. If I took 2 identical drivers who could set the exact same time with 2 different cars, and we put them at specific intervals away from each other without slipstream, and they were just by themselves, they would probably set, of course, that time because I set an imaginary situation where they're at the same place. If you put them together, they're going to be going an entire second faster by bump drafting each other. Now, when I went to pass Pepe Dead Gun, Subplayer 1 went ahead and gave me the slipstream, and I'm assuming it's probably because he figured that I could work with him, or at the very least, if I passed him, then he could work with me, because I do have a good racing relationship with Subplayer 1. I've raced him a lot, we know each other, we respect each other. I don't think we've ever spoken to each other. It's possible we've never actually talked to each other. It's also possible I just don't recognize his screen names. Player 1, I don't actually know. Now I feel really bad. I don't feel like re-recording any of this. If we've had like conversations, like we apologize, I don't think we've ever had a conversation. But we don't need to because we both understand the language of slipstream, we understand the value of it. And despite the fact that he did help me out by giving me the slipstream, he was also helping himself out. I said slipstream. That was embarrassing. Anyways, I passed Pepe Dead Gun. Instead of trying to bump draft him, Subplayer 1 then moved in front of me, and that could also be because he trusts me behind him more than Pepe because he doesn't have that type of racing relationship with Pepe. I'm saying so much today. I just have not stopped talking. I'm worried that none of this is going to make any sense to you guys. You can feel free just to make fun of it in the comments. I love that. I'm actually going to probably go back and listen to this since I feel like a crazy person right now. Anyways, back to an entire lap ago. When I went to pass Pepe Dead Gun, I wasn't actually sure if sub player wanted to be in front of me. Worst case scenario, he doesn't, and then I can move directly back or behind Pepe Dead Gun, and then I can continue trying to bump trap him or sit in the slipstream for long enough that I can then make a pass on Pepe and then try to separate them and do the same with sub player 1 at some other time. Now, since I went ahead and passed sub player 1, maybe he didn't feel like giving me the bump draft, but he does feel like passing me and then moving in front of me. Maybe it's a Pepe Dead Gun is essentially left out again. Now, I wanted to defend because I wasn't sure if Pepe is going to be really aggressive, and you can always assume it will be. But I also know that the 458 is pretty much useless on the long straights without slipstream, and so as long as I stayed in front of him and I defended, I was certain that I could defend against him. And if I could stick with sub player 1 and then use the slipstream and then bump draft sub player 1, then I thought we could potentially get in front of Pepe, away from Pepe, and then we could just work together, get away from everyone else, and then battle it out right there. That's essentially how all these races go. And it might sound like just formulaic, but I guess I'm supposed to. You can also very much expect people to make big mistakes in these races. If you hit the wall, you don't get a penalty, you don't get damage, and if you don't get damage, you're definitely going to lose momentum. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the 4C, but it's very important to know the strengths and weaknesses of all of the cars that you race against, which is a really good excuse to just test out the cars. Also, it's just a lot of fun. Pepe's in the 458 Italia, and that car has incredible speed. Pepe's in the 458 Italia, which has really good acceleration and handles incredibly well, sometimes too well, as some people say, which really isn't a thing. It does turn in extremely fast, which can be dangerous, but it handles really well. It just doesn't have a lot of top end. It doesn't have really good off speed. So even in slipstream, there's not much that it can do against a car like the RX Vision unless it has just incredible run out of the last corner, and the RX Vision is not. Now, if you look at the top left, I have the delta between myself and sub player 1. You can see that it is now sub player 1 instead of Pepe behind me, and he is in the R8, which is one of the meta cards, and it definitely has enough power, even without a bump draft or slipstream, to catch up with me. And you really need to be within 1 second to get good slipstream, so he was able just to use his power. Maybe Pepe also pushed him, but because he was able to get the slipstream, he was able to get much, much closer. You can see he started over a second away from me in that last corner, and by turn 1, he is almost a half second. It does look like Pepe's behind him. I do think that Pepe is responsible for pushing him to get that much closer, that much faster, but without the bump draft being available in the middle sector, this is when you can really flex your actual skills, what you involve doing time trial, and if you do find yourself in front, you better do everything you can to just absolutely run away. The air wash is not gone entirely. The dirty air is still present a bit, but it is almost never an actual issue. What is an issue is in the little spaces between the corners where you can get going a little bit faster than you might expect, plus having to worry about the fact that the tire wear is on, even if the tires don't do that much. The tire wear being on does mean the tires perform differently, and the fuel will be changing while the heck you are. So anyways, I digress. What I'm trying to say is, it's going to be different in the race, and even if you'll have to worry about dirty air, it's going to be a lot different if you are following a different car, and that's possibly why I'm now 1.4 seconds ahead of Pepe and sub player. It's also possible that there's been mistakes, but Pepe tried to go for some move with your way. When you break away, you've got to do whatever you can to keep that distance. Now, just like in the last lap, they could work together to try to catch up, and also both of those cars are much better out of the last corner than mine. Now, definitely I could learn to take that corner better. I should have, and I still should actually, because it's one of the weakest corners for me. But if I were out of those cars, I'd go faster than I can in that corner. And it's no surprise that in that last corner, they were able to close that distance just a little bit. As you can see, everyone happens to be right behind this thing. You look at the top right, you can see it looks like
right now, get up to 8 weeks free when you join and stay on eligible products with Bupa. Plus, we'll waive the 2 and 6 month waiting periods on extras. For award-winning health insurance, join Bupa today.
in the breakdown about the super fast left-right set of corners that are, of course, coming up. They're right at the beginning of the second sector. That's tough enough on your own, and since there are so many different types of cars, even though a lot of the cars perform relatively similar, except of course from other cars, they take each corner differently. You're going to see a lot of people who do not know that enough, who do not anticipate that enough. And if you look at the top left of the Delta, you're going to see that is going to grow tremendously. And that is entirely because it's very difficult without a lot of knowledge to know exactly how much you need to slow down, when to slow down, how much you can accelerate, and all that stuff in the order of and behind. And I think that's the only reason that I now have a 2.8 second lead. And it's also the reason that we can jump to the very end of this race. It's all over. There's actually so much to cover, and there are so many different situations that you couldn't possibly see all in a single race, especially not one where I was able to get so far ahead so quickly. I very much would hope you would join me on my Twitch channel where I stream every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Hopefully, at the end of the year, I'll be adding another YouTube stream as well. But there are also lots of different people who stream this game and this race. I encourage you to watch as many of these races as you can. There are just so many things to try to learn, to memorize, that you just can't possibly cover in one video. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching our video. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll make another one of these videos next week. To finish off, as always, look at my current members. I love everyone.
the audio up there, like one step delay, I change your gears and stuff later, I hit gears, I completely missed the time. Brake is like 75, right? Reason. I want to be you. Would not want to be you. Well, I'm an idiot for doing my race the way I did. This is just being stupid, not actually just being a loser by nature. Who knows, maybe I ruined his race where I wasn't paying attention. But I doubt that's the case. I'm sure he's just a loser. Oh well, doesn't matter. It's all good. All is good. She's all good. I suppose at least now I know the sound's completely out of sync. Brain's not working. Super is back on top again, eh? Oh, I did say it's the undisputed medical. Forget where I'm the competitor guy actually said. Positive, positive. giving it the ability to do things that no car could ever do. Just slow down so much, man. Always got them brakes too short. You brake the straight line. Had an epiphany. Help. Need help. Come on, mouse. Be a good mouse. Put that back to... Man, I'm confused actually. What am I doing? Get it warm up. Come on, I need some sound. I need you to make sound, game. Sweet. So that's all I need to do. I think. No, why is there no sound on the stream? Might be delay on the stream sound. I think at least now I don't have delay. I think it might be a bit too. Alright, let's not mess about this time. It made a massive difference. I appreciate it. Like you're still behind, bro. Waiting for you for 0.5. Fuck's sakes, people! Fuck. having a car that's a bit less stable, man. No, you're not. We fucking stop. Braking just makes that hard. Well, I can't say I've actually really... I've had little glimpses of fun, but the last two races, first one being my own fault. Stop streaming, why? No? Pressed something wrong there. Well, I'm probably trying to look for beats. I just about need them now. You're all dirty. Not all of you, but... You were blocking way too much on the straight. If I can get yourself a free bump draft. I don't think you would have stopped, you just got a penalty. But you weren't, I don't know if I call you dirty. He ended up getting third too. Man, it could have been a good race and I stuffed it. Next race. Third time lucky. It's the kind of stuff that makes me not go to work, man. Little kids sitting at home on their mum's PlayStation, like ruining other people's days. Don't have enough coffee for this. Beats go. Come on, mouse. It's working when it's not working, when it is working. Guess it's a Euro server. Why is there no sound on that? Oh, of course. How did I pull this off before? Oh yeah. It's time. 7 o'clock. Kids got to be up for school anyways. one more race. Hopefully this is a good one. And oh, not in the Audi, dude. $96, $99. Feeling the fun coming back. Back in high school. Make this hot. No. Right, I've set up a laptop and another screen there, which I need to then set up some more desk stuff and work some other stuff out. But I'll use that to monitor the actual channel and chat. I'll use this here to monitor the broadcast and this here the game. Wake up call, subs. Unfortunately, where I live, it's a struggle to get a USB cable, let alone find an electronic repair joint. That's actually something I could resolder and fix myself for a bit of heat, I reckon. We've got a mate who does it. Get some advices. Ring him up to a video call. Find the dry connection. Use your multimeter. Oh, I keep forgetting. Hit the rage light when need be. But we're starting calm. Got the Euro beats. Mexicanos. Oh, let's do the right thing. No, I can't just start subscribing to every random bit of music I put on. Damage. Here's what it is. Damage again? So if they touch a wall, no matter how softly, and then you touch them, is it just automatic damage? Because I know Gran Turismo is just certain things and certain parameters. It's not actually trying to work anything out on the fly. much to try to slow down. Get out the fucking way, dude. Fuck, you just crashed in front of me, mate. Get out the damn way. Fuck? Let's get karma. I must be massively unsettled. Get with shits, man. I shouldn't have. Don't let it get to you, Emilio. Don't let it get to you. Live stream. I've fucking completely ruined my race. What's the point in letting you live? Probably none. even have a race anyways, mate. Probably still catch it. It wasn't third time lucky. It was just third time complete, making a fool of myself. There's really nobody to blame other than actually PD themselves. And myself for playing the game, I guess. The problem is, like, iRacing is just, like, the community is so bad, man, like. And the game is just a mess. It's actually even worse for driver rating sections. But at least the physics don't allow you to get away with just being a complete dick. Just driving into walls and cars and shit. There's no ghosting, there's no, like, encouraging it. Shit, dude. Why do you slow down so much? Slow down so much. Alright. Should add morning green hearts. Would have fucking handled it differently. Keep just touching that accelerator. Didn't even touch. If you can get away with in the R8. Not so much on this one. servers are like. Don't know what I was doing, getting so tired. I just got my over it now. Just do the auto drive, which is the worst thing to do. Like, I could probably start programming the muscle memories of like mistakes. Oh, we need to have one fun game, man. It's just day ruining. The addiction's too hard to, like, you know, come on. Like 70% braking, guys. How's Anti-Medicar going? Trying to take the AMG to the straight on the finish line. It would have got him. These Euro servers, like, I really did think Australian servers were bad, but Australian servers are mostly people making mistakes, whereas the Euro servers are just straight malicious. So are a lot more like the Asian racing. It's which you get them in Aussies. Don't get me wrong, but it's like Aussies don't seem to be. They're not tactical. You know what I mean? Like, you just get retards. But like the Euros and the Asians, you get like this tactical nastiness, like trying to lead you into the pit entrance and other little things. Won't even say anything actually, because who knows, maybe I just jumped to assumptions, getting pissed off, but I do know what to do. I know exactly what I done. I do know exactly what I done. I've actually been just sharing these because I've been noticing there's a few people who watch them, not just for Sammy now. It's just like the community, like, I'm a bit bored, let's go have a look at some Snake Verdict. To just search it, go watch some replays. It generally tells you, the laps. I don't know. The laps. Oh. Which account is this? It's my ViceTappin account, which is an OTGT account. Overtime, Gran Turismo. I got, you know, do my work hours and put overtime into Gran Turismo. With all possible extra time. And at 7:30 in the morning, I haven't had a race I could start the day with. Like, got addictions. Drugs are bad and key. Oh, it's the game that motivates me to actually have better mental health and strategies and stuff. And at the same time, it's like the game that gives me like mental health issues. So when I go like that, it would just be showing my one on the stream, eh? Yeah. Just having the odd look at the chat. The old Ministry of Sound going, mate. Good thing we got some beats, because it would otherwise just be like this without the beats. Come on. Come on, internet. In the middle of a race, like. I missed the race. Yeah, I was just checking. I did put my mobile back in the normal spot. It would do us a lot quicker if I had it connected to my home internet, but that's streaming this, and I find like, yeah, they can conflict, especially if it then goes, you know, other family members on the home internet, and then something on the home internet wants to do updates, and it's just all of a sudden it's like, we're stuffed. It's completely choked. So at least for mobile, well, it's not the quickest. The only thing it's doing is playing the game. And I don't like, the last thing I want to do is ruin other people's races, which I've been a bit of a culprit of this morning. Well, a bit. Well and truly. I've been a freaking menace. An absolute disaster. Just chuck for Mr. Wilson account on. Wonder what countries like and how much my content's blocked in for the music. It comes up saying, you know, blocked in some territories. Whoa, man. It's not good when I feel like a game is just completely ruining my morning. Which is mostly down to my own faults, but we got beats. Down, down. Calmati, viaggio. It really doesn't seem to make that big a difference what kind of start you get here. Should just take a bit of time to extend it. And it more or less just seems to top out about the same thing. I mean, for reference, A-Lee gets to first checkpoint at 19.5. To save it. Schmack, yeah, schmack. Abuse me, yes, man. Reflexes. That'll be slow. Great morning, aren't I? Stuffed me. I go to 6. Probably be putting in a warm-up lap first. Get the tyres inside. I'm tired. I've gone to bed way too late the last 2 nights. I still get up at like 4:30 so I can take my dog rabbit hunting. Well, I normally go to bed like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm going to blame Sammy Snake. I'm going to blame myself for my own stream last night. I kept watching it. Alright, come on, no excuses. Wake up and race. Stop trying to break some aid on that one. I can do it quite easily with just the long, soft, the long minimal brake. But it can be done with quite a quick hit and lift off. I've done a few times just when like basically fluked it at the beginning in the races. And then tried it in the time trial. And then like had it confirmed by Cyrus. How much faster I can be going through there, but we ain't got it yet. Definitely not this morning. We'll probably go into that race. One more attempt. 600 off. Oh, and counting. with 110% time to step away before I even started this morning. Botley! So I'll do 2 more laps. Come on. Yeah, it's the batteries. Positive of it. Wonder if I take them apart, like what size cells are in there. I love this mouse. Had it for ages. Yes, it's perfectly fine with a fresh battery in it. My like 15-year-old gaming mouse. A Via. Oh, was it MSI? Gigabyte AEVO. Put some lights on. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, it's Wales. And it's like, yeah, already dying again. Like, I both just got completely dead cells in them, already showing a red light, and oh, devoed. See what this is? I feel like a change in beats. So he's gonna go for one more. Takes a different line in to the other ghost I've been following. Come in a bit wider into that, and it's just messing with my head. Not awake enough for changing it. Just go back to the ghost I was following, which was Mr. Cowster. Oh well, we'll go out and get into the race. Lose some coffee. yeah, might need to remember to unmute the microphone. I just didn't even have beats. Nobody's watching anyways. Oh, at least you just didn't hear me having a frustrated rant. I guess that's actually a good thing. A bit difficult to get it out of that corner. I was going to do a time trial session this morning, but we have to get things done. Like, it has to happen a little bit later. It's a healthy first sector. There's no time left. It's only because I haven't put the time in. Starting to wonder if it would like be quicker than the Audi, but no, it's definitely not. It would be on the ranking boards. Oh, come on, internet. I suppose it's getting in the morning, more people use it. That's why I try and do the Euro accounts in the morning. Alright, come on. This time immediately, concentrate. Pay attention. Make it work. Make it work. No, if I'd actually put some time into a time trial, I'd have like at least 1 second faster trialing than the person behind me. Like it'd be like half a second quicker than what I got there at the moment. So I should put that into consideration. Go, okay, I'm in a B lobby. Been able to get into A lobby for over a year. Oh, I generally tend to do this kind of thing, which doesn't help my accounts. So we're gonna race from the back in the anti-meta. I'd rather the challenge and fail than win from the front. Well, I mean, having a good race and like he's got a good time. But if all goes well. Like a lot of time it's B lobby. It can actually just be smarter to just hope for some luck, I guess. Come on, you lagging behind. They gave you a really good rolling start or something, or missed gears or... Let's go for it. I think that's more that he hit the Ferrari. We were going to have the full run. Wasn't it front and sure? deserve it anyways. What was I doing? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck off, Ranger. Get reported for abusing you. Like, mate, you just got out of the way. Not my fault if you don't pay any attention to starting grids and what's going on. Fuck, mate. Sorry. Why are you like swerving like that, man? It's lap 3. Oh my, no, this feels scary. Give that Ferrari to the slip. Press for brake then, Emilio. Oh, fuck's sakes, dude! You've seen enough by now to know you're just going to slow us down. It worked for us anyways. What's happened to the Ferrari? You're a wanker, not helping you. Fucking losers. Only lap 4, Emilio, calm down. You're too frustrated this morning. Smoke some cones or something. One of those occasions where hitting the walls quicker in this game. You guys like fucking race without hitting people? Yeah, flash me, mate. Fucking done with you wankers today, mate. Done. fucking cockheads. Fucking flash me, you retarded moron. Can't even qualify. They actually brake checked me around positive of it. But I'm just getting angry this morning. Just getting angry. Get around the corner, mate. This car actually lacks, no, it doesn't. It lacks speed on the straight against the R8 as well as handling. So what does it lack? Handling, speed and acceleration. Sorry, buddy. I deserve that today, I guess. Fuck's sakes. What are you doing? Why would you not be in a slipstream? Like what is going on, man? Better races of C graders, man. Can drive in a straight line, people. You know, you got someone bump drafting you. Don't worry about his slipstream that much. What are you doing, kids? Drive! Rear wheel drive out of there, man. If you're trying to push it, it's just you lose more time in your game. Yeah, but I was sorry to Miro anyways, and the other guy, I think he deserved this race. I'm just a retard this morning. Give myself depression. Wow, I actually didn't lose DR at least. Definitely deserved to have lost SR. Guess that's a small consolation. And I suppose you can't run around like trying to make life hard on yourself and get annoyed if you didn't get good results. But I'm more just annoyed with my decision making and like I should have remained calmer and in focus and started off a bit more ready for it. Alright, Ian. Peace and love, world. Sorry, it was a bit average. But I guess, I don't know. It'd only be if anybody came back and watched this. I could rename it. I just lose my shit and don't race well. Alright. Peace, world.